Life below water has played a massive role in our lives. Oceans are vital to our planet's survival because they provide water, food, help, and control weather. Oceans also employ over 3 billion people who rely on marine biodiversity. But what happens when all of this is gone?
Good day, everyone. I am Zythqa Gonzales, your host for Tide to Table. Today, joined by my co-host Edrian Ligutan, this SDG episode will discuss SDG 14, Life Below Water. We also have guest speakers that will be joining us for today's episode. Pollution is the most severe threat to our world and future generations. Do you ever wonder where all the plastic bottles and bags you use end up? An estimated 5 to 12 million metric tons of plastic annually enter the ocean. Carbon emissions from human activities, such as driving vehicles, are warming waters and raising acidity, and harms sea creatures and organisms because the acid may crush their shells and ruin coral reefs.
The ocean is a precious natural resource, providing over 200 billion pounds of fish and shellfish annually. Fisheries contribute to 16% of the world's total protein and are vital to human culture. However, rising seafood consumption and technological developments have led to dwindling populations. Sustainable fishing techniques are needed to stabilize fish populations, protect ecosystems, and protect endangered species. Contaminated water, poor sanitation, and ocean plastic pollution also contribute to the issue. Legal fishing rights and effective fishery participation are crucial for addressing these challenges.
Fishing has been a vital livelihood for the Philippines, contributing to its GDP and providing over 50% of Filipinos' protein. However, the country's marine life is dwindling, with an average decline of 20% over the past decade. Factors such as overfishing, illegal fishing methods, the making of artificial islands, ocean acidification, and global warming have impacted the fishing sector. The dwindling fish population affects fishermen's livelihood and daily food needs, leading to internal competition, and health issues. The government plans to improve the industry, with President Bongbong Marcos suggesting refraining from harvesting fish from breeding areas and implementing the Fish Corps project. These plans aim to increase market opportunities, competitiveness, and legal compliance while ensuring a consistent supply of fish for national food security and nutrition. The government's efforts aim to create a more sustainable fishing method and address the dwindling marine life situation in the Philippines.
The coastal waters of Mindanao boast rich and diverse marine life, particularly the vibrant coral reefs that contribute to the region's marine biodiversity. Specific areas in Mindanao that are affected by this are Sarangani and Duwataha Reef, which face pressing threats due to pollution, significantly impacting fishing communities. Pollution from untreated wastewater, agricultural runoff, and plastic waste in regions like Davao Gulf and Zamboanga Peninsula is degrading water quality and disrupting the balance of marine life. This problem is particularly harmful to fish species that depend on healthy coral reefs for their habitat. As a result, fishing, a vital livelihood to the coastal communities in Mindanao, is jeopardized.
With that being said, I have a question. What is SDG 14 or Sustainable Development Goal 14, and what are your insights about it?
We spotlight SDG 14, Life Below Water, where the oceans, integral to our survival, face a formidable threat: pollution. With millions of metric tons of plastic finding its way into the ocean annually, we're confronted with a crisis that demands urgent attention. In the Philippines, the impact is palpable, as dwindling marine life not only affects the economy, but also poses challenges to the well-being of its people. The Fish Corps project, introduced by the government, aims to tackle issues such as overfishing and implement sustainable practices to secure the future of marine resources. In Mindanao, pollution poses a significant threat to vibrant coral reefs and disrupts marine ecosystems, directly impacting the livelihoods of coastal communities. Beyond these challenges, we must recognize the moral imperative embedded in our role as custodians of the environment. Our oceans are not mere resources for exploitation. They are a vital part of the delicate balance of our planet, deserving preservation for the sake of current and future generations.
Our goal should be to preserve and responsibly utilize oceans, seas, and marine resources. The planet in which we live is in danger. If this premise is true, then the planet is as important as human beings and should be protected or sustained. This understanding reveals our close affinity with nature. As Christopher Ryan Mabollock said, the mutual dependence of all species as co-occupants of the world allows for ecological balance, and philosophically, the key to this harmony is always asking significant questions about the true purpose of nature, society, and human existence.
God has placed humans responsible for his creations. The Bible teaches us this. The oceans, seas, and the beings living there included. Looking at today's society from a Christian perspective, the way a lot of people treat the waters is unacceptable, but I do believe that everyone is aware of this. According to Psalms chapter 104, verse 25 to 27, yonder is the sea great and wide, creeping things innumerable are there, living beings both small and great. These all look to you to give them their food in due season. This is how the Bible describes life below water. This indicates that the living things, whether we know of them or not, are just as important. However, with the way we think in modern times, where we consider the unknown less crucial than the known, may be one of the reasons why we sully the seas with garbage. Though another reason is probably the lack of care for the future or other people. We were taught to care for our neighbors, which can be done through taking care of the environment, which brings us back to the first statement that God placed us humans to be responsible for his creations.
The Bible emphasizes the values of good stewardship, supporting the wise and sustainable use of resources. The idea of responsible consumption is consistent with the more notable consecrated principle of caring for God's creation, even though it does not directly address SDG 14 life below water. These guidelines urge people to practice mindful consumption, which gives aid to the ecological balance and advances SDG 14's extensive project of protecting marine life and ecosystems. The sacred sustainability principle emphasizes the value of caring for the earth and its resources. People can contribute to the overall well-being of creation by engaging in mindful consumption, which echoes the environmental responsibility in many ethical frameworks and religious teachings.
The goal of the 14th UN SDG is to conserve the sustainable use of our marine resources. We can contribute to this goal by practicing ethical actions such as reducing single-use plastics, participating in coastal cleanups, supporting eco-friendly tourism, promoting sustainable fisheries, and educating others. Single-use plastics often end up in oceans. We can opt for reusable alternatives and participate in cleanups to prevent pollution. Moreover, when traveling, we must choose eco-friendly activities, prioritizing marine and wildlife. We too can encourage policies that prevent overfishing, ensuring the long-term health of fish populations. Withholding all this information, we can now raise awareness about the importance of marine conservation, educating everyone around us so that we may also play a role in protecting life below water. By aligning our personal choices with the Bible's teaching and the principles of the 14th UN SDG, we, individuals, can contribute to the global effort to conserve God's given gift, which is our beautiful nature, which we should cherish and protect.
I have another question for our guests. What are your personal experience and opinions on how you practice ethical consumption and productions in your own lives?
For me, I practice this by reducing my energy consumption and food waste. The obvious ones like turning off the lights and the appliances I'm not using. Also, I'm making sure that I don't waste food by finishing it or planning meals ahead. I also consider things before shopping, like how my lifestyle can affect the others and the environment. Even if I rarely shop because my mother usually does it, I encourage her to do the same though.
On that note, SDG 14 focus on life below water holds significant importance in the context of Mindanao. As an island region, Mindanao heavily relies on its marine resources for livelihoods, food security, and economic sustenance. Sustainable development under SDG 14 in Mindanao is crucial to preserve marine ecosystems, ensure responsible fisheries management, and mitigate the impact of climate change. Addressing issues such as overfishing, pollution, and habitat destruction becomes imperative for the well-being of coastal communities and the overall environmental balance in Mindanao. And that is for today's episode, everyone. I would like to thank the guests who shared their insights about today's episode topic, SDG 14, Life Below Water. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoyed and probably learned from this episode. And I'd like to wrap up this podcast on a note that what you reap is what you sow. For the ocean's care, reflect on our table's share. This is Zythqa Gonzales, your host for Tide to Table. Thank you.
According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, more than 3 billion people rely on the ocean for their livelihoods. This includes the jobs they can get and also the source of their food. But what would happen to those 3 billion people if we took the ocean's life for granted? Promoting SDG 14 would benefit not only us, but also the ocean life. Creatures below water could still reproduce and could still live in harmony.